Hey guys, it's that hippie. And I know what you're thinking. Man, you look like a wreck. And it's true. Um, Someone sent me a link to watch the new official trailer for the uh, Wrong Side of Heaven Five Finger Death Punch song, and I'm not gonna lie, I cried, like severely cried for the first time in a long time. I just let loose the tears because the entirety of the video is talking about how veterans, when they get home, their life fucking sucks, and all this shit. They some of them commit suicide. Most of them live homeless on the street with PTSD and don't know what to do. The divorce rate is rising in military couples. And I cried not because I felt ashamed that America isn't doing anything or I felt sorry because I wasn't doing anything, but because I understood. Because that could have been my dad. I understand what it's like to watch veterans go through stuff because my dad has PTSD. He'll never admit it, but he does. We all know. Hell, coming from a guy who has PTSD, I can tell. And I don't even have PTSD from a wartime part. No, I just happen to have nightmares and flashbacks. But and when I say my dad, I'm not talking about the fucker who shot sperm in my mom to create me. No, that man is not my dad. My dad is the guy who stuck around with my mom to raise me for 11 years of my life before they finally got divorced. And he still stuck around to raise me after that. He still lives in my hometown, and he still came around a lot after they got divorced. One, because my little brother, and two, because he still saw me and Steph as his kids. We were his kids for 11 fucking years. And it hit me hard. That was the first reason why I'm sitting down to make this video. The second reason is a lot of my videos that I've been recording to post for you guys, this computer hasn't been saving them, and I figured it out now. So I'm sorry, there will not be a Supercharged Sunday this week, but I'm gonna stop doing those every week. I'm gonna start doing them only every other week because that's gonna be a lot easier on me, and then I can have the other Sunday to do like homework or something. So it's going to be easier on me to only do it every other week. And I'm thinking in the weeks when I don't do Supercharged Sundays, I could maybe do something like a video on like Monday or something, and it would still work. So I don't know. I'll figure some things out for you guys. Okay. Um, so I will be getting the top 10 reasons why I like horror movies out eventually. I haven't sat down to record that after the first time it deleted it, but I'll be doing that, so no need to worry there. There's just I haven't had time to make video, and I'm still trying to find things to like record screen capture stuff so I can play games with you guys on this computer. I found something that seemed to work at first. It recorded everything. Even when I went into Star Wars The Old Republic, it recorded all my gameplay footage, but no audio. And I was talking the whole time, because that's just what I do. I never shut up. But I kind of want to have audio. I mean, I like having commentary on my games. I don't know why. But I mean, it just helps. There's one reason why I want sound is so that you guys can hear the actual game speaking, so that you don't have to like read everything and I don't have to like speak everything because that gets annoying for me. So I need a program that has audio so that it can at least hear the game, because that would really be helpful. I mean, so I'm gonna keep looking for screen capture with audio. Hopefully, I won't have to buy one, because the program I got now, I can only record 10 minutes of screen capture time because I only have the free version. So it's really gonna suck, and it's really gonna be a pain in the ass. But then again, there are other programs I can look at and see. if they can let me record what I consider to be a decent limit for an episode on like an MMO should at least be 20 minutes, at least. 10 minutes is a little too short to actually do anything in an MMO. I mean, unless you're gonna jump, cut, and edit, and I don't do that shit. 20 minutes for me, that gives me plenty of time to run from point A, point B, do the mission and a C. That, I can do a lot in an MMO in 20 minutes. Mostly because I've been playing MMOs for a really long time. It started when I beta tested World of Warcraft with my dad. Me and him, we got beta code for World of Warcraft and World of Warcraft Burning Crusade. So we got to beta test both the original and the first expansion of World of Warcraft. And it was awesome. And then that continued when I got a hold of Wrath of the Lich King. And I kept playing all the way through Wrath of the Lich King. I stopped playing right around the time Cataclysm came out. I didn't play any of Cataclysm, but then I played when I got a bonus pack that had all of them all the way up to Mists of Pandaria. A friend of mine gave it to me, and that's when I stopped playing World of Warcraft. I mean, the pandas, yeah, they were a race from Warcraft 3. They should not be playable. Just shouldn't. They're pointless. They are. They're giant fucking pandas. I mean, the monk class that was added was kind of cool, but the pandas, really, that was not necessary. We did not need pandas. No one wanted pandas. And I have to admit, the Worgens were kind of fun. They were really fun. I don't know why, but I had a lot of fun playing a Worgen. They're pretty much just a human with a werewolf form. But they're still so much fun. So, after I stopped playing World of Warcraft, I got a PS3. Eventually, DC Universe Online came out and on the PS3. Well, my dad bought it. Well, it was his PS3, so he had DC Universe Online for it. And then when he left, he was deployed. He gave us the PS3 and all the games for it, so I got on, and I played on my account on the PS3. I made my own account on the PS3. And then I made my own characters on DC Universe Online. Eventually, I started buying DLC for my account that, for some odd reason, only stayed on my account. I think DC Universe is like one of the few games where if you buy DLC for it, it only goes to the account that bought the DLC. Because I bought DLC for Defiance, because I downloaded Defiance onto the PS3. So when eventually Dad comes to take his PS3 back, yeah, he'll have Defiance on there because it's on every single profile, and every single profile has the DLC that I bought for Defiance. But that might just be because I downloaded it into the system, which it does take a while to patch because it's a downloaded game. But then from Defiance comes Star Wars: The Old Republic, which actually, Star Wars: The Old Republic on this computer isn't the first time I've played Star Wars: The Old Republic. When it first started, my dad got a beta test code. When he was beta testing, he could have 2 available characters during the beta test. He had one. I believe his was a Jedi Knight or a bounty hunter or something. No, he had a Jedi Knight, then he deleted it and played a bounty hunter. And I don't get why a lot of people in the beta, there was like hardly anyone playing as the Empire during the beta. And I think it's because in the Old Republic they focused on the Republic's stories first. So like you could play all the way through the Jedi Knight and the Jedi Counselor's stories, but you couldn't, and you could almost play through all of the Smugglers and the Troopers' story. So I think a lot of people focused on the Republic during the beta test, so when they jumped into the real game, they could play as the Sith Empire and be like shocked and surprised and stuff, because really after the beta, like nothing was added to the Republic. I think like 1 or 2 areas were added to the Republic after the beta. I played as a Sith Inquisitor through the entire beta. I got pretty far. I made it to level 30. And that was without knowing what I was supposed to be fucking doing. Like I think by the time I left Korriban in the beta, I was like level 15. I was like way too high of a level to be in there. to be on Korriban, and by the time I left Dromund Kaas, I was like level 20. So I did all the shit for the Sith Inquisitor, and I was a freaking super high level during the beta. And now I have Star Wars The Old Republic again. I have it again. It's bam. And this is going to be me talking about MMOs mostly, because they're fun. I'm primarily, for PCs, I'm primarily an MMO player. I don't really play single player games on a PC. I mean, I play MMOs, but I usually don't team up with people. Actually, yesterday I created a Sith Warrior because for some odd reason my game has to re-download after a patch was installed. So I can't play off Korriban. So I had a Sith Warrior, and I actually teamed up and was playing in a group with a Sith Inquisitor he needed help on a mission. He was like, hey, you want to toop up? I was like, yeah, sure. So I'm a level 10 Sith Warrior running around with a lightsaber, and I'm helping him go get his companion in a star map, and then I went with him, and we did all this stuff, and I watched him get his lightsaber, and then I watched him fly off Korriban to Dromund Kaas. And because I didn't have the game fully downloaded again, I can't leave the starting world, so I can't leave Korriban yet, because I don't have the full game downloaded. But when I do, when I am able to leave, he's on my friends list, so I'll know if he's online, what planets he's on, and what level he is. So, I mean, I added him to my friends list right around the time we started the group. So, yeah, I'll know where he's at, what level he is, what mission he's on, and all that stuff, so I'll be able to aid him. Because we're friends, I can now follow him everywhere on my map, like a stalker. Yeah, as you guys can tell, I've stopped ripping the labels off of my drinks. I just don't care. Okay, so I like MMOs. MMOs are amazing. I've been playing MMOs for a really long time. Like I've said, my first one wasn't World of Warcraft. It was this really old MMO. I don't remember what it was called. It wasn't RuneScape. I didn't like RuneScape at all, even when it first came out. I mean, it was okay, it just wasn't me. But I played it was a very RuneScape-like MMO. I will admit, it was like RuneScape. I think it was called, like, Dungeon Crawl or something like that. I don't remember. I knew it had dungeon in the name. And no, it wasn't Dungeons & Dragons Online. I would have remembered that. But I did play that one, too. Dungeons & Dragons Online works. It is interesting, to say the least. I wish you had a little bit more creative freedom when making characters. Like, a lot of the characters are so bleh. I mean, the prestige classes are pretty cool in that game, but that's just because they're Dungeons and Dragons prestige class, and they stuck true to the D&D feel for DDO, I think. Yeah, but in Dungeon Bleh, that's what I'm gonna call it, Dungeon Bleh. That was the first MMO I played. It was a 2D MMO, so you got a 2D view, and you could go left, forward, up, right. And when you got in front of buildings, you could go into them. Well, that was when I first started playing it. Over the course of 3 years, they finally created a full 3D model for the game. So the game finally became 3D. It let you start building your own things. Like it was like a Minecraft meets RuneScape meets Dungeons and Dragons Online meets Mabinogi. You could do literally anything you fucking wanted to for no reason. My character was a level 25 ranger who had rank 50 blacksmithing. Rank 50 was equivalent to 10 stars, which 10 stars is the max you can go. So yeah, I was 10-star blacksmith, which is the max you can go, 10-star enchanter, and 10-star miner. So I could mine my own ore, craft my own weapons, and then enchant them. And I sold those to lower level players. Cheaper than the NPCs. Because it was easy for me to go get the ore, make the weapon, and then enchant the weapon. So I sold enchanted weapons to mid-level players for around the price of normal weapons. Still made me profit. And the only reason why I was able to do all this, because in there, the buddy who got me into the game to start with, he built me what was known as a Blacksmith's Paradise, because he was a 10-star carpenter. He could build anything in the game. He was a 10-star woodsman, 10-star carpenter, meaning he could go cut down any tree he wanted to in the game, literally any tree. Yeah, for some odd reason you can't cut them all down if you have an axe or something. I don't know. But he cut down any tree and build just about any building he wanted. To put this in perspective, my Blacksmith's Paradise was about halfway between the starting town and the biggest town in the game. So, in an area where there wasn't really much aside from a road and a bunch of enemies, eventually a bunch of players started building things around my blacksmith shop, because my blacksmith shop includes a storefront and upstairs for the player to live in. On the outside there is a anvil, a fire pit, a sharpening table, like a sharpening stone, grindstone thingy, like the one in Skyrim. It's the spins on a thing, but it doesn't quite look like that. And then you had a work table, and then I added an enchanting bench, which is what it was called. You literally laid the weapon out on the bench, and you were like sat over it with like divine magic, and that's what it looked like. You just laid it down and did this, and it was weird because in the game you actually had to, like, a little thing would pop in front of you. You had to move your mouse, like you had to click and drag and etch in the enchantments that you wanted. It was cool. Or you could do what I do and just type in the codes for them. Like, you have RDD, ADD, DAD, SSD, CCD, EEW, QW. QW was a good one. That was one you could only add to armor, but it was a health regen. It was nice, but yeah, that's what I did. I didn't do the whole dragon. I never learned the enchantments by their symbols, which is probably a good thing because it would have taken me so much longer to get to rank 10. Yeah. And the reason why each one is typically only typically only 3 letters is because most of the enchantments are 3 lines. You get a letter a line. A lot of the armor ones are only 2 though. Like you've got and stuff like that, so it's weird. But that was the first MMO I played, and that was fun. It was a great thing. I mean, the enemies weren't too difficult, so it wasn't like challenging or anything. I think the main reason why I played it was because the lower levels needed better shit, so I made it for them. Simply because I had nothing left to do. I had already completed the main story arc of the game, which is the reason why I was level 25, which is like pretty close to the max level in that game. And I was a ranger, which in that game is the equivalent of an archer. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't too fun. But eventually I did pick up the swordsman feat, so I could actually have a sword as well. Yeah, it was awesome. But the sword was my secondary weapon, so I had to actually switch to my sword, which is weird. But yeah, enough about that. To me, what makes a great MMO is a great sense of community. Like, you have like people that want to be involved in like, I'm not really a big fan of PvP, but I mean, I understand the necessity for some PvP. Like World of Warcraft, it makes sense to have PvP. It makes sense because you've got the Alliance and the Horde in a very, very small sense of safety, about to be on the brink of war, so it makes sense that they're going to be fighting. Star Wars: The Old Republic, the Republic and the Sith Empire, they're clashing, there's going to be some fights, so PvP makes sense there. DDO Online, like DDO, Dungeons and Dragons Online, does not make sense for there to be PvP unless you are in a PvP server. Doesn't make sense. There's really no reason for there to be PvP if you're in an RP server. The only reason why there should be PvP is if you're in a PvP server. Which, if you're in a PvP server, you're stupid. Because you're going to have a really hard time leveling up with all those level 20s coming up to kill you for no reason. Yep. Oh yeah, and a level 20 in Dungeons & Dragons is a big deal, because to get 1 level, you have to level up essentially 5 times before you even get to level 2. Yeah. A level 20 could take out like a level 80 in World of Warcraft. They're pretty tough. They might even be able to take out a level 90. Maybe. I don't know, I'll have to crunch the stats later. That is something people actually don't think I do. Someone sent me a video of, not a video, but a PM from one of the websites I do things on. But they sent me a PM saying that I don't actually collect data for my supercharged battles, that they're all based on opinions. I'm like, no, I collect data. I watch the art, I watch the animes, I read some of the mangas, I crunch the data, and bleh. I think the main reason why he was upset was because my anime won where Kirito would have beat Edward Elric. Yes, because Kirito was fighting him, not Kazuto. Kazuto's the real world version of Kirito. Kirito's the in-game data avatar he created. Yes, the SAO Cardinal program takes personal feats into account. Therefore, it would allow Edward Elric, if he was in SAO or Alfheim, it would allow him to transmute Earth in any of the material. But he still cannot transmute the metal in the game because the metal is just binary code. He would touch it and it would hurt. I mean, unless he smacked it with his automail arm, which I'm not sure the game would give him. People just need to shut up sometimes. I actually do work. I learn things. I research things. The reason why I didn't do a Star Wars one was because there wasn't enough actual data on the Old Republic characters. Like Brianna, the Handmaiden. There wasn't enough actual factual data on her. There was no stats. There was no, oh, she's stronger than she is fast. There was nothing. There was just speculation, theories, all this shit. It's just, bah. Sometimes I wish BioWare, when they made an excellent game, would release data about the characters in them. But they don't. And it ticks me off sometimes. But anyway, guys, so there's going to be some other videos eventually when I get about to making them, which might be a while. I'm not quite sure. But if y'all like this, go ahead and hit the thumbs up. If y'all didn't like this, go ahead and hit the thumbs down. I don't give a fuck. If you want to see more, go ahead and click on my name down over there. It's like literally right there. That'll take you to my channel if you want to. If you like the videos, you want to see more, you go ahead and subscribe. You'll see all my new updates and things and stuff that happens. Don't get all, oh, he's not a man because he cried, because I will find you and I will hurt you and I will make you cry. And I don't care if you're male or female. I'm an equalist. That's another thing. Someone sent me a PM saying that I'm not a real man, that if I would hit a girl if they hit me. Why? Why is it a big deal? Are you fucking... What? Ugh. No. I never said that I would hit a woman if they hit me. I said I would fight a woman if they wanted to fight me. Because I don't care. I don't care if you're black, white, male, female, tall, short, skinny, fat. I don't give a fuck. I'm an equalist. I don't care. I don't care what you are. I'll treat you exactly the same as I treat everybody else. I'll act exactly the same towards a person that has Down syndrome compared to a normal person. I'll still be an asshole. That's just who I am. I don't care. I treat everyone the same. I am. I'm nice to people if they give me the chance to be nice to them, but the vast majority of people don't because they see my hair and think, oh, he's a druggie. No, I don't do drugs. My mom would kill me. Like literally, she would shoot me in the side of the head if I did drugs. My mom would actually kill me. Like, for real. She has my brother to replace me. She would actually kill me. I'm pretty sure. Mom, answer the question. Would you actually kill me if I did drugs? Go ahead and comment in the comment section, Mom. Because my mom watches my videos. You got a problem with that? because she'll hunt you down and make you cry too. My mom's a vicious lady. That's why I like her. That's why I was raised the way I am. I have the perfect amount of respect for people that respect others. If you're going to be a complete douche to somebody for no apparent reason, you don't deserve respect. If you're just going to demand respect immediately upon meeting someone, you don't deserve said respect. I don't care who the fuck you are. I don't care if you've got way more money than I do. Nobody demands shit. You have to earn shit. Okay? I grew up in a place where shit sucked. Like, Marshall sucks. Nobody there. If you don't have money, no one's nice to you. No one gives a fuck who you are. If you don't got money, no one could. They could care less if you were to commit suicide in Marshall if you didn't have money. Or if. So, seriously, had I committed suicide, no one would give a fuck in Marshall. I think maybe 10 people outside of my family would have cried. Yeah. And Marshall has 13,000 people. My family makes up about 50 people in Marshall. So 50 plus the 10 outside my family. So that's about 60 people that would have cried over me out of 13,000. Yeah. Makes you kind of hate people, don't it? I mean, it's kind of sucks that people can't even show empathy towards someone who's going through depression in a place like Marshall, where people are stuck up little bitches for no reason. Even the ones that live gloriously are in just as much debt to the state and the nation as my mom is. Yeah, my mom's in debt to the nation. One, because she's still trying to pay off my sister's college debt and hospital bills, because my douche that created me and my sister decided to drop her off his insurance. I'm still on there. I don't know why. I don't get it. She's his favorite. He only wanted a daughter. He didn't want a son. I happened by accident, and he almost had two of me. Yeah, there was almost two of this. I looked at my mom one day and said, imagine if my twin had lived. You'd have two sons in college right now. I think she almost hit me for that one. I think she almost did. So college is great, guys. Thanks for asking. So glad you guys care. I know so many of you don't really care. You're waiting for me to get to the point of this video, even though there is no point to the video. I love how some of you still think that my videos have a point. My videos never have a point. There's no point to any of my videos. It's either me stating my opinion, talking about some messages somebody sent me, and again, I do not show the messages, I do not reveal the names of the people who sent me, or their screen names, because I respect people's privacy. And I'm not dissing on YouTubers that do show them, or do reveal them. I just don't do it. It's just not me. You know, this video was supposed to end like 8 minutes ago. I even did my outro, and then I got sidetracked. Man, that does not happen very often. But, so, yeah. Oh, yeah, for those of you that don't know, a while back I did go through some serious depression issues. It was before I was even in high school, so it was a long time ago. I'm way over it now. But the summer between my 8th grade year and my freshman year in high school was some seriously difficult shit to go through. One of my friends committed suicide. Some serious shit happened. People just kept going to the hospital. Some major crapola issues. Crapola issues. Oh, jeez. That's also when I started to become really addicted to Mountain Dew. Was that summer. It was because it kind of just drowned everything out. And for a really long time, I lived... it's scientifically proven. You can't stifle just one emotion. Like, you can't just get rid of sadness or fear. So I went through my freshman and sophomore year of high school completely emotionless. What did I do to get rid of said emotions? I drowned them in Mountain Dew and anger and hatred. I used my anger and hatred of the people of Marshall to get rid of all the grief and sadness that I was feeling over my friend's suicide. because it hit hard. And some insensitive people in my class, my year, decided to poke fun at my friend who had committed suicide. He was a few years younger than me. He was in 6th grade. And he committed suicide because he was an openly gay kid. Openly gay. And his class constantly kept making fun of him for it. And his family did nothing to stop it. The principal did. He went to his dad to try and stop it. His dad did nothing because his dad hates gay people. So, I mean, his dad regrets his decision now because it cost him a son. Actually, it cost him both sons because his other son, after his brother committed suicide, he disowned his father. Left. His other son's a year older than I am. Let's see. He moved out when he was 15. He went and lived with his aunt until he could get a job, and then now he's paying for his own college. He won't even accept help from his dad because his dad did not help his brother. So someone in my class wanted to poke fun my freshman year about my friend's untimely suicide, and she was not the brightest girl. She never really kept her mouth shut. Anyone who knows me will know who I'm talking about, like, instantaneously. She had previously made fun of the fact that my grandmother had passed away due to breast cancer. She had previously made fun of the fact that I have long hair because I don't care. She made fun of the fact that my mom couldn't afford to give me nice things. So I was not really surprised that she was making fun of my friend's suicide, but the fact that she did it right in front of me is what made me snap. It was the first time I hit a woman. The first time I hit a girl. First time I hit a bitch. And it's been the only time. It takes a lot for me to actually swing out at people. That's what people don't understand. Is I'm not always angry. I'm not always looking for a fight. It takes a lot for me to want to hurt somebody. I mean, it doesn't take much to get me angry, yeah, and I'll steam, and I'll spew, and I'll shut up, and I'll sit down, and I'll glare at you. But that does not mean I'm going to get up and pound your face in. That takes a lot. You have to really work to get under my skin like that. And the moment those words escaped her lips, I'm glad that faggot is gone, my fist crashed into her face. Right in front of the assistant principal. I didn't even get kicked out. Didn't even get a day in detention. Not one. She got 3 days in detention for being insensitive to someone with mental issues. Yep. Because my issues in my mind, while they're not proven to be there because I've never had a psych evaluation, everyone knows I'm fucking unstable. Really? You don't even have to know me in real life to know that I have issues. I have problems that can make me a very dangerous person. They can also make me one of your best friends. I can be a real nice guy, or I can be an absolute dick to you. It all depends on you. She never gave me a chance to be nice. I tried to be. When I was younger, I tried to be nice to everybody. I tried to be nice to everyone. I mean, I still stuck out like a sore thumb like I do now because I had longer hair, bright blue eyes. I had a lisp when I was younger. I still kind of have a lisp because I talk so freaking fast. But I used to say words differently. Like I say funny instead of funny. I had to slow down to say it correctly. When I was younger, I used to let a lot of my Irish show through. I almost did it right there. I used to say arse instead of ass because I've been cussing for a long time. I think I started cussing when I was like 7. Sorry, Mom. She didn't find out I started cussing until I was 14. She didn't find out I knew cuss words until I was 11. But I started cussing when I was 7. So I used to say arse. And the teachers couldn't get mad at me because that's not a cuss word. But I used to say arse since I was 4. I used to say arse in front of my mom. Like, arse has never been a cuss word to us. ever. Neither is crap. Crap is not a cuss word. It's shit. Shit and crap aren't cuss words. That's the stuff that comes out of your ass. Ass is a cuss word. Cussing 101. That's what I'm naming this video. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. That's a bad idea, Jason. It's a really bad idea. Okay. But yeah, so when I was younger, a lot of my my's used to be me when I was speaking because I am a lot of things in this globe. Here's all of Jason, like this entire screen. This is how much is Irish. That's everything else. The biggest chunk of what makes up of me is Irish. There's a lot of Irish in my family. I mean, a lot. And I was raised in a household that was very Irish, heavily Irish influenced. We had a lot of potatoes. No, that's racist. Don't say that. Okay, no. But we did eat a lot of potatoes. But the potatoes are awesome. I mean, if people, I have yet to meet someone who doesn't like potatoes. So, I mean, potatoes are amazing, but that's not what I mean. We treated everyone with respect and stuff. We were very high. I think we were always being happy around each other. We always got into fights with each other, but always half-hearted fights with each other. There were a few full-blown fist fights between me and my sister, and my sister's boyfriend. I did get in a fight with my sister's boyfriend once. I'm not ashamed of it either. I did not like that dick. She doesn't even know about it, but yeah, so it's I think the only thing that was missing was none of us got drunk like your typical Irish family would. Typically, yeah, and I know it sounds terrible that I'm just feeding a stereotype, but Irish people, they enjoy alcohol. They just do. It's just, what else are you gonna do on a tiny island with nothing to do? Drink. That's it. That, I mean, I understand why, like way long ago, back when alcohol was first discovered, why Irish people drank it. They were under British rule. They were working in mines all day. Jesus, I'd want to drink my sorrows away too. Though I'd prefer a green liquid for that. Yeah. I went to a party with a couple of friends a while ago, and I took my own drinks. And anyone who knows anything about me knows that my preferred drink is a certain form of carbonated water that is known for its insanely high ratio of caffeine. So I think I had a 1 liter bottle and 3 cans of Mountain Dew. And I took those with me. And around the time we were leaving, I ran out. So we were still going to be there for about 15 to 20 minutes. And I was thirsty. So I asked my friend for a drink. So she walks over, gets me a drink. And I know she's not, I've known her pretty much my entire life. I know she's not the kind of person to drug me or something. But she did not tell me what was in the cup. I just knew it was alcohol. So, I mean, I think, and it was a cup. So it wasn't like a shot glass. It was an actual cup. So I was like, it can't be anything too strong. That cup and 2 cups later, I figure out I've been drinking rum. And I was just starting to feel good after 3 cups. So I was like, and that was when we decided to leave. We had a DD, and our DD, who'd been drinking water all night, drove us back to the school and dropped our first friend off because he's all the way over on the other side of campus, but she lives just over that way. So I help her up to her room, and it was more like I wanted to make sure she made it to her room safely because I'm still aware. Like, I'm still trying to act like there's no alcohol in my system. Nothing's here. Nothing's wrong. I got to make sure she gets to her room safely. And all of a sudden, as I'm walking up the stairs, because we decided not to take the elevator, I don't know why. I took the elevator on the way back down to leave and go to my room, but she was pretty much helping me up the stairs. I kept leaning sideways towards the part of the rail. So here's the rail. Like, here's the rail. This is me. I'm like leaning over the rail as I'm walking up. So she was like helping me stay upright. I don't know why I was leaning so much. I just was. I don't know. I got her up to her room, all safe and sound and dandy and bleh. And then I take the elevator down because it's in the UCC. There's an elevator there. I'm like, I am not going back down those stairs. So I hit the lobby floor of the button of the elevator, and I'm leaving, and I come back over to Ellis, and the cold air. I sat outside in the cold air for like 2 extra hours because it felt amazing. I was just sitting on the stoop with the door open to walk inside. I was like, it feels great out here. 2 hours later, I decided I just keep walking like nothing happened. And this time I walk up the stairs and I'm not leaning or nothing. Apparently the cold air helped. I make it up to my room, no problem. Close the door behind me, walk over to my bed, and just crash. Lights still on, Brendan's still on his computer doing stuff, and I just crashed on the bed. I'm like, no, fuck it. I'm tired. Fuck it. This is actually going to be one of my long videos again. I'm getting long videos again, guys. Yay. Everyone's going to hate me now. So many people used to hate on my long-ass videos. I'm sorry. Sorry. I don't mean to make these videos that long. I talk. And 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 I talk. But to get back to everything, I used to try to be nice to everyone. Because I was. Yeah, I'm going all the way back to me in young age. Forget about drunk Jason. I wasn't even drunk. I think I might have been what was called tipsy. I don't know. From someone who drinks this all day, I don't know the difference. But I'm pretty sure me Irish blood took care of it. But, so when I was younger, I tried to be nice to everybody. And so around the time I was 7, I used to say a lot of, I started school when I was 5. I started kindergarten when I was 5. Completely skipped preschool. Fuck that shit. No. I went to kindergarten when I was 5. I was a year younger than everyone in there. 2 years younger than one of the students. I don't know why he was so old. He just was. I think it's because, like, he had his birthday, like, the first day of school or something. Like, it was in the first month of school that he had his birthday. So he was, like, 6. And then he turned 7 during school, so I was like, well. He wasn't in my class, he was in the other kindergarten class in the same building. But, so how my school system sets it up is you have the first grade building that has a couple kindergarten classes, you have the second grade building that has a couple kindergarten classes, third grade building that has a couple kindergarten classes, and fourth grade building that has a couple kindergarten classes. And then you're just going to throw all the kids together for 5th grade through 8th grade in one building. So 5, 6, 7, 8 are all in one building. And I guess kind of get you prepared for what high school is going to be like. Except where I spent most of my time in high school. We had kids from our high school and other high schools in our area because we were the Saline County Career Center. Yeah, so kids from all over Saline County came, and it was awesome. They were cool, too. But I was mostly in the computer classes over there. I really liked the computer classes. They didn't really have much that interested me aside from the computer classes. That was about it. It was awesome, though. But, so, my kindergarten year, I was 5. Youngest in my class. I made friends pretty quickly. The first person I became friends with was a kid named Derek. And the only reason why I started talking to him is because I didn't talk much when I first showed up. And he didn't talk much. Everyone else already seemed to know each other, but me and him didn't seem to know anybody. So we became friends out of need of a friend. And we're still friends now, me and Derek. Just to put things in perspective for you guys. I was the kid with long hair and terrible eyesight. He was the black kid in the class. We were the oddest friends ever, and we're still friends. Me and Derek, we're still friends, and just that's the strangest bond I've ever made with somebody. It's like we're both loners, and we need somebody to watch our backs for us. So we're still friends. Me and Derek, we're awesome. He's awesome. He's a cool dude. He's real laid back, real mellow like and shit, man. It's awesome though. And then after that, I started making some other friends, mostly girls. I don't know why, but I just it was easier for me to talk to girls, probably because I was raised by my mom and my sister. I mean, yeah, my dad was around, but he was a military guy, so I didn't really see him much on like the weekends, which is the when I had the most time was the weekends because he had drill every weekend. He had drill every weekend when I was young. So I had a really hard time talking to other guys because I didn't know how to talk to them. But I talked to other girls just like how I talked to my sister, and they seemed to appreciate that I just talked. So I had friends. I made friends with my kindergarten year. I became friends with Jesse Lundervold, Emily Casillas. They introduced me to a bunch of their friends: Shelby England, Madison Gaba, Madison Gaba, all of them. And then through them, I became friends with Kanan Heinzler and Brett Maupin. That we're still friends, and they're like the two most popular guys from Marshall. They were the two most popular guys throughout high school, and they were friends with me. And to put this in perspective, here's the social ladder right here. Okay, here's Kanan and Brett, and here's me. Really, I call them the most popular because they were preps and jocks their entire life. That's all they knew. They were great at sports and great at talking to people. That's all they know. That's all they do. I was probably the most popular kid because I was friends with everyone. I mean, the only people I couldn't stand were bullies. If you were a bully, get the fuck away from me because I will hurt you. I can't stand bullies. Can't stand them. Probably because I had to deal with bullies for such a long time. And I even became friends with some of my bullies after I stopped them. And I stopped them in sometimes in very violent ways. But so my life progressed very oddly through elementary years. I made a lot of friends through my elementary years. And then when I hit 5th grade, I just kind of said, fuck it. I was tired of being nice to everyone because people just wanted to walk all over me and treat me like crap because my family didn't have money. And so I just said, fuck it, And then 5th grade was also when my cousin Dakota Proctor, came back to school at Marshall. So he had moved away before me and him started kindergarten. So yeah, I didn't get to see him much. I think the only way I talked to him was I had Skype. Me and him would Skype each other because we were really close. We were good friends. We were really good friends. And then he came back to school my 5th grade year. And he was in my 5th grade class. And so Cody and I, we knew each other like right off the bat. And I introduced him to all my friends and shit. And then he made a bunch of friends, introduced me to them. And it was awesome. And then my best friend was Tyler Edson. Edson and I were like greatest friends ever. We still are. We used to hang out all the time. Like I went to so many of his birthday parties. And for me, like going over to someone's house or having them come over to your house, that's the only way you can tell if I'm actually your friend. If you hang out around me, that does not mean we're friends. No. To know that we're friends is I will invite you over to my house on several occasions, or I will go over to your house on several occasions. That's how we're friends. That's how you know. If we only hang out at school, sorry, pal, we ain't friends. It's just, if I don't see you outside of school, we are not friends. So, yeah. But, so Edson and I were probably best friends. I went over to his house probably more than I go over to my cousin's house. He came over to my house probably more than my cousins come over to my house. So, Edson and I were tight. We were real tight. People don't understand why Edson and I always got along. Edson was a really big guy, and he was really smart. He understood a lot of, but he had trouble getting the stuff he understood from his brain to come out. Like, he had problems with that. Like, and teachers always assume that he just didn't understand. It's like, no, Edson understands. He just has problems translating it from either his brain to his mouth or his brain to paper. Edson gets it. He just can't do it. So, I was in a lot of advanced classes, but some of the classes I didn't get advanced in were like math. I did not get into advanced math, mostly because I failed the test, the placement test to place you in either basic math or advanced math. I failed the fucking test. I'm not even gonna make this. I just failed. I was not prepared to take the test. I had been sick 3 days before it, so for 3 days I didn't do anything, and I was not prepared. So when I came back, I was like, "Oh, there's a test. Well, I'm screwed." So yeah. So in basic math, I helped Edson because we both ended up in basic math because I failed and he had trouble translating what his brain knew to the paper. So I spent most of my time in Mr. Whitney's basic math, getting Mr. Whitney a pop every single day, getting myself a pop every single day, and then helping Tyler with his homework because I was already done. Math is just, it's easy. Math, it's a pain in my ass, but it's easy. I like how simple it is sometimes, but it's just such a big pain in the ass, especially when teachers are like relentless with homework, and it's annoying. You got to give your kids time to breathe between homework assignments. I'm talking like middle school and high school teachers. You can't just. I was a. Put this in perspective. My junior and senior year of high school, I was a math tutor for a couple of kids that were kids of my mom's friend. And I got paid by their mom to help tutor them with their math classes. Well, while doing this, I put so much time and energy into focusing on them and helping them that my own grades started slipping. And their grades were not improving. And it was getting frustrating. So frustrating that my mom pretty much just told her friend that they can't come over here for help until they are ready to pull their heads out of their asses and actually do what I'm telling them to do, because they just weren't doing it. Well, one of them his name was Brady. He had an excuse. He had football practice every single day, and he just didn't have time to do his homework. That was his main struggle. He just needed time to do his homework. So he would come over to my house. I would help him with a few problems he gets stuck on. That was it. The other one, his name was Cody. He just didn't want to do it. He wanted me to do it for him, and I refused to do that. I'm like, no, I will help you understand the problem, and then you will find the answer. And he just wouldn't do it. And I was like, okay. He's trying to blame it on like his ADD and all this stuff, and I'm like, no, you just don't want to do it, you lazy bum. And to me, bum is a really big insult. When you're bumming off someone, and I'm not talking bums like people that live on the streets. No, that is not a bum. A bum is someone who has no reason to be living off someone else's fucking shit. Like, they are perfectly capable of surviving on their own, and they just want to live in their mom's basement. That is a bum. And I can't stand those people. I can't stand that. Mostly because it bugs me to ask people for help. It bugs me to ask people for help. It bugs me to ask to use something that isn't mine. If I have to borrow something from someone, it bugs me. I have a hard time doing it. I have a hard time even asking to borrow something from someone. It's fucking tough for me to do it. And I don't know why. I really don't know why. But it is. So throughout my middle school career was really the time I gave the big F you to everybody. It was the first time I actually started flipping people off, too. The first person I flipped off was the chick that made fun of a lot of things about myself. I don't know why I was always her intended target, but my 8th grade year during Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we were to write a name of someone we knew that personally defended against breast cancer and either lost or won. So for myself and my cousin Cody, I used our grandmother's name, Kathy Clark. And that's how I know I'm related to Lewis. I'm not Lewis, I'm related to Clark. But my father did not like the fact that I used his mother's name. And I said, I have every right to. She's my grandmother. And it wasn't the fact that I used it, it was the fact that I used it on my cousin Cody's. I was like, he's my fucking cousin. He's related to me on your side of the fucking family. And it bugs the shit out of me. Yeah. And I can understand now why it bugged him so much, but back then, I didn't see it. I didn't see why it bugged him. I didn't. I was remembering my grandmother the only way I knew how. I was coping. I was dealing with it. I was dealing with the pain of losing someone that I never actually apologized to for breaking a fucking Pokemon figurine. And that still bugs me to this day. I never apologized. Mostly because I was scared to. Because in my house, when you broke something, you were punished. So I was afraid of being punished. The disappointed look on my grandmother's face when all I did was say, when I didn't even say anything because I was scared. I was scared of what would have happened. And it did not help when my father spanked me, considering I've never been spanked before, and he did that. So I felt like everything was attacking, and my sister lost her fucking mind. That happened when I was 8. My sister is only 2.5 years older than I am. And she scared the shit out of my father. He raised his hand to me, smacked me on the ass once. I ran up the stairs out of the basement, directly into the bathroom, and locked myself in there. My sister blew the fuck up. Scared the shit out of my father too. It was hilarious. Looking back at it, it's hilarious. When it happened, I was traumatized. I was actually traumatized. And the reason why I know I have PTSD is because that's one of the reasons why. Thanks, Father! Yay! It's also my fault because around that same age is when I first played Silent Hill 2. And it really sucks when you're schizophrenic and have multiple personality disorder because you have a really vivid imagination. So you can see where I'm going with this. I have nightmares all the time. It's just getting so bad now. Like, it's getting really bad now. Like, I don't even want to sleep at night sometimes. And it's not even the PTSD doing it. And people are going to think that I'm, like, making a joke that I have PTSD. No, I'm being serious. My doctors don't know why, but I have PTSD. I've never been in wartime. Never fought like with a gun, never had to shoot anyone, never had to kill anyone. But I have PTSD. My doctors are confused, I'm confused, my fucking dad's confused. I don't know. I got PTSD from having a traumatic moment as a kid, from being spanked, and never having been spanked before, for living in an area that is relentless to grow up in. Or it was when I was growing up there. According to my mom, that used to be like a great place to raise kids. It ain't now. Because the other kids are fucking terrible people. They are relentless. They will tear you apart if you're weak and you let them. So that probably helped. Playing Silent Hill 2 at the age of like 6 or 7 probably didn't help much. Ugh, those nurses. But and then, well, schizophrenia, multiple personality. So PTSD, real. I have it. It sucks. I already know that I could never last in wartime. I could never be part of the military. One, for two reasons. I have problems with authority, and I already have PTSD. Yay! Me in a war zone would not be fun. I have a feeling me in a war zone would end up with me probably beating the shit out of someone with like the barrel of my. I'd use the gun as a blunt instrument to beat someone to death. That sounds like what would happen if I was in a war zone. Sounds about right. Anyway, guys, before this video drags on too long, because I've already been recording for about an hour, so thank you all for watching. If you liked, please like. If you want to see more, click on the annotation down there. You can go to my channel. If you want to see any other videos like this, or any that don't have anything to do like this at all, go ahead and subscribe and you'll get updates all the time. Anyway, thank you guys. All of you are wonderful. Thank you for listening to everything that I have said, even though most of it doesn't make sense. I will see you all in the next video, whenever that is.